Hi everyone, hope you all are doing good. So in today's session, we're going to discuss on the action plans. So what is an action plan? How it will be useful for a service agent in their day-to-day activities. So all these we're going to discuss on today's session. So what is an action plan basically? So action plan is something where a set of actions that needs to be performed will be associated to a common template. Let us take a real-time scenario. So service request is something where a request comes from the user, which we need to work on. I mean, service agent will work on and resolve the particular issue. Okay. As part of providing the resolution for an SR, so sometimes for the service agent, there will be few dependencies where he need to get from some other team. So for with respect to that, so that can be implemented using action plans within the system. So where what we are doing is with respect to that particular scenario. So we will be creating a service request and we will be adding an action plan. Okay, so as this service agent is nowhere aware of what the other team is, let's suppose service request came with respect to the product defect. Okay, so there he just added the so he just came to know there is a dependency and few things he want to get from the manufacturing unit. So what he will be doing, he will be adding a template, but with for that particular service request with respect to the manufacturing unit. So as soon as he adds a template for the respective service request, so whatever the tasks or whatever the actions which are defined in the particular template will be added up. So these actions will be like owned by the manufacturing unit. So as soon as the manufacturing unit starts working on it and closing, so he will come to know, the service agent come to know, so, okay, the respective inputs which he needs from the other team has been provided to him so that he can again continue back with his work moving further. So this is what the basic flow of the action plan with respect to business, I can say. Let me just also show you like a flow diagram of action plan. So how it looks like. So this is how the basic action plan flow will look like. Okay. So admin or some other system admin, application admin will set up the action plans as per the requirement. So what they will be doing is they'll be using the functional setup manager FSM to like do the some profile option changes and some of the FSM tasks that they will be configuring, creating a template, adding action plans to it, and doing those things. Okay. So once the setup has been done with respect to the admin, okay. So with respect to the service agent, he will be able to add the action plans for the service request. So he can add the action plans. I mean, he can also add the individual actions also instead of templates. So what's the difference between template and action? Okay. So when we add a template, so there are multiple actions that will be associated to the template. Okay, all those gets added. Okay, if needed, you can skip any of them within the template. Okay, so while you are working on that particular template. So if we add an individual action, only that particular action will be added into the service request. So with respect to the service agent, as soon as he get assigned with the service request, so which he needs to work on, he will be reviewing the SR. So after reviewing and understanding the issue, so he will be like thinking of so what particular action plan template needs to be added. So he will just add the action plan and he will be choosing what template I need to choose, whether I need an input from the manufacturing unit or some other department. So their respective action plan template he will be adding into the service request. So as soon as he adds the template, so we need to click on the start action. So then the action plan status get changes to in progress. Okay, so it means that so some other team is working on this particular issue, the dependency. So that we can call it as like that. So as soon as the status changes to in progress, so whatever the actions which are defined within the template will get started. So again, the actions, how they need to start. So whether once, if for example, a template consists of six or four actions within it, so we can define after what particular action which needs to be started after action one, whether action two needs to start, or after action two, both action 3 and 4 needs to start parallelly. So the sequential way or the parallel approach, whatever way we want, we can define it in the setup. So the admin will define those all in the setup. So based on the setup we have done, so the template will start reacting in the same way. Okay, responding in the same way. So once we just initiate the start the action plan, so we will be working on it. So based on the dependencies and prerequisites, so the dependent action will start. And finally, so once we are done with all the actions within the template, so the action plan status will also changes from in progress to completed. So if we just see the flow diagram, so here he is service agent will be adding the action plans. Okay, selecting the template and just initiate. Okay, he'll be initiating the action plan. So then, as part of that process, he will be monitoring action plan. So I'm looking after the projected completion dates, all those that code generated. Okay, plan complete SR, resolve this SR. So again, so these action plan status, so can be, so as soon as we get inputs from the other team, so SR might can close resolve immediately, or some other work from the service agent side which they need to work on will be pending. Okay, it's again depends. So once we add the action plan, so Oracle create action objects, setup map attributes. What happens is when we are creating the actions, so how this action needs to be created. So with basic information, whether if, for example, within the action plan, if we are creating a task type of action, okay, what task needs to be created with what subject and who should be the owner, and if any basic details we just want to populate. So these basic details will be populated or mapped in the action plan template. So there we will be having this mapping concept. So based on that mapping, so the new action that gets created will pick the information on that and it will be populated. Okay. So, and then they will be reviewing that a task or appointment or SR. Again, action plan can be any type, or it might be a task, it might be an appointment or child SR. These are few which we will be using. So apart from this, we can also have these opportunity and other things also. So we just can get this information when we are referring the docs, Oracle docs. So and these are the state of action that needs to be provided when we are working on the action plan. And finally, so once we are done with one particular action, so if we click on the refresh button in the action plan, so the next action gets started automatically. So this is how the action plans flow will look like, and then we will just walk you through the same process within the UI so that we can get some better understanding of it. Yeah. So let me just try creating the service request from the UI, and we'll just walk you through the action plan thing. We'll be populating just basic details, actually service request level. Else, I think these are not mandatory. Let me just try to skip those. So So here, so as soon as this particular service is created, so this is the screen how it looks like. So let me just try to add the action plan to it. Okay. So, so I'll be adding the action plan to the particular service request. So this is how where the uh, currently, as we have not added any of the action plans, so that particular side tab sub tab won't be shown. So as soon as we add the action plans for the service request, then only it starts showing up. Okay. So if I click on actions and click on add plans, so here these are the templates which are defined. Okay. Um, yeah. So so let me just other parts. I'll be adding this particular template. Okay. So if we just see, so these are the other parts, tasks, or the actions that gets created. So let me just click on upload. Yeah. So see, this particular tab will start showing up over here. Okay. And this is the action plan that we just recently added. That's the other part. So font, we can just rename this also. Okay. So I now, so like if I just open this particular thing, so these are the list of mm, tasks that are there here. Okay, so actions that are there here. So one and two seems to be like a task type of an action, and the three will be an seems to be an appointment. So based on the icon which is shown here. Okay, so yeah. And if we just try to see here in this screen, so there is an option called skip. Okay, so for example, so in these, there are only three actions that are defined. If there are 4 or 5 actions that are defined within the template, and the service agent don't want that so one particular action to be performed, so he can skip that particular action from the template, I mean from the action plan. Okay, so that the remaining will get completed, and the other the one will be skipped. Okay. So we will be clicking on start over here. So as soon as we click on start, so the status changes to in progress. See, so this got changed to in progress. Let me just save. Yeah. So if I just yeah, so now it's got into in progress, right? So just go to this. If you see, so the particular task, asset subscription or warranty, it got started actually. So this particular task is in progress, and the remaining 2 tasks are not yet started, because if you just see the prerequisite over here, so for create parts and order to be started, the one needs to be completed. The step one needs to be completed, and for the step three to be started, and step two needs to be completed. Okay, these will be following in this way. Okay, these prerequisites manner. Okay, so if we just go to asset subscription and warranty task and just try to mark this as complete, and then this got completed now. So save this, and I'll be clicking on the refresh. Yeah. See, so as soon as the status mark to completed, the second task got started. It gets started. So then in the same way, so I will be just marking the second one as completed. So just try to refresh the action. So the remaining thing gets started. So what thing is one thing I just want to say over here is, so before these step three task get started, so we have a skip option over here. But as soon as it gets started, so it got disappeared. So the thing over here to remember is, so any changes we want to do with respect to the skipping, so we need to just do before the particular action is in the not started status. We cannot do any changes once it gets started. Okay, so that's the one thing which we need to remember. Okay, So then, so as soon as if I just close this particular appointment as well, no, I think I need to just change the status. So, I think status field is not exposed to. Let me let's see. So, yeah. So as status needs to be shown for this particular appointment, but it's not getting shown. So I'm unable to just close this. Okay. So if you just try to click on save and close, still the status is in progress because the action which is there, it's not completed, right? So that's why it's in progress. Once that is also gets completed, so then action it will be 3 out of 3, and so it gets completed. So this is how the action plan look like, and this is a it's like a I can say it's a sequential actions. So if we just see here the view of it, yeah, if you just see the view of it, so once the asset subscription and warranty gets completed, so I create parts order is getting started. Once create parts order is completed, and the other one collect feedback from customer gets starts. Okay, so these are the like sequential, one after the other, it's getting started. So there might be a scenario where once the asset subscription and warranty is completed, so the other two tasks, along with a create parts order, the other task needs to also get started. So in order, we will be also walking you through that particular flow. So just be a second. Yeah. So here we'll be just adding the other way of actions which will get started. So it's based on the prerequisites, right? So here we are adding the at-risk student. Okay. So this particular template. So we are just clicking on start so that it will get started. So if you just go to that particular action, so if you see here, so this the just can try to observe the prerequisite. So for tutoring and scheduling, it's academic, okay, and the tutoring complete, it's again tutoring schedule, and same for the post tutoring advisor. So it's again the tutoring schedule. Once so here it is like, so once we just sorry, it's academic, okay. So once the academic task which is there in the beginning, it's get completed. So both the actions, tutoring scheduled and tutoring advisor, will be started. So once tutoring schedule is completed, again tutoring complete. This is how other way which we can define. So these all setup wise can be defined by the administrator in the setup and maintenance. So, but this is how it looks like. So we will just go and try to close the academic reversal and see whether these two tutoring scheduled and post tutoring are getting started or not. Just see, yeah. So those two, according to the dependencies, it got started. So the one which is completed will be highlighted in the green and in this particular view, and the other which are in progress are currently which are still working on are open, so they will be in blue, and the one which are like which are not yet started will be symbolized in the other way. Okay. Um, I think yeah, this is all about action plans, how this looks like in the UI, and yeah, what we can do. Hope this is clear. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.